Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Vortex Mike, and I am giving you a sneak preview of my 32-gallon Vortex style compost tea brewer that I just put together recently, new model. As you can see, set it up, you got ease of filling up the tank. Connector right on the outside above where the water level is going to be, to where you won't have to worry about sticking your hose in the top of the can and it getting pressurized and the hose flying up out of the top, getting everything around you soaking wet. So that's always a good thing. All you got to do is simply turn it off, disconnect the hose, put the hose down, and you're ready to rock and roll. Just give me a second. I'm gonna go on and wait till this water gets to where I want it to be, because if I get into the rest of the video right now, then the water's gonna get too hot before I have a chance to stop it. So we're gonna wait till it gets about an inch above, like right underneath those return levels. Let's see, right about now. So I turn it off. As of right now, I'm just going to leave this because I'm holding the freaking camera. So, alright, as you can see, I got these at 45s aiming down. I didn't solvent these down because I made it so it can be turned to whatever angle you want. It can go clockwise or it can go counterclockwise. For demonstrational purposes, I'm going to go on with the whole clockwise thing just to let you guys, give you guys an idea of how everything works. Alright. These here are 1.5 elbows, all right, 1.5 elbows. And the reason why they're 1.5 elbows, this is 1/4-inch hosing, or 1.25 hosing, I'm sorry, 1.25 hosing. And the reason why I have 2 or 1.5 elbows are when that water comes up through that pump, it's coming through a 1.25 hose. And if I have anything smaller than that as a return, then it's going to be somewhat pressurized and it's going to shoot the water out a little bit, and I really don't want that because yes, it can help with the aeration, but I really don't want that because it causes splash, and I'd rather have no splash than and lose just a little bit of aeration. But you always got all the aeration. You're going to see that in a moment exactly how much you get. So I have 4 manifolds. It's called the Poseidon 4. This is a model this is my own unique model. There are no other models like this. As you can see, I got a 5-way cross, and it goes out to 4 different return hoses. All right. I have flexible vinyl tubing, reinforced vinyl tubing braided for the extra rigidity. I don't even know if that's a word, but hey, I'm gonna use it anyway. You get the idea. The extra rigidity, so when I clamp down these flexible couplings, it doesn't bend and distort the hose too much. I am gonna take these out and eventually put in clear PVC, which is, it looks the same, but it is a lot more rigid. Obviously, it's PVC. So, all right. Here we have our air manifold. As you can see, it comes down, connects to a 3/8 barb. Comes from the pump up to 3/8 barb, up over the water line. Right, so that's why this thing is backflow resistant. All right, down, connects into a barb here, connects into the Quattro Halo air manifold that I got going on down here. As you can see, connects into that T. That T is connected to 4 other T's that in turn, those T's are connected to these T's that are pushing the air in through these tubes. All right. And when you cut that pump off, or if you lose power, then that water is only going to rise back up to that water level. It's not going to make it up this high to join these 2 pipes and to flow back down and damage your pump. So it eliminates the need for a check valve. You can sit your pump on the floor. You can sit it wherever you want to sit it. I still recommend you put, some kind of, I don't know, maybe a cinder block underneath your pump just in case the water does leak out from the bottom or something like that, and you still don't want your pump that low to the ground. You might want to put it on something at least a few inches off the ground. All right, so let's go to the front. Let's go around this way. Sorry for the shaky video, but hey, it is what it is. All right, so this is the front. You can get a better shot of the air manifold down there. All right, you see it going on. I got a 1.25" bulkhead fitting down there, the heart and soul of the whole entire system, keeping everything nice and not leaking. All right, so you see all that. All right, this is 32 gallons. All right, let's get back over here, and I'm gonna fire this thing up so you can see exactly how it works. Okay, bear with me. Plugging in the pump right now. All right, as you can see, it's starting to go. That water, that air is traveling from the pump into this hose, up over the water line, down into the air manifold. That air manifold is pushing that air through all 4 of these pipes. All right, you can see that air lift. You see? You see that air lift on all 4 of them. You can see it, and it's crazy. All right, gives you an idea how much power you're getting. This pump is a commercial Air 5. It puts out 88 liters of air per minute. That's a lot. All right, up top we got the return going, and you see that vortex is starting to kick up already. And you see all the air bubbles are getting a nice aeration, and we are not getting a lot of splash up. All right, now since this container, the lid for this container is not a watertight lid, you don't have to worry about it, because like I said, you don't have all the splash up, and it's not gonna come over the lip of this and start dripping all over the place. All right, so you see that water returning in on all locations. Right, that vortex, I don't know if you can see how deep it is, but it's pretty dang deep. Alright, it took me a while to perfect this system right here. It was a good amount of trial and error, but I managed to get it perfected, and it works pristine. Alright, I have a valve down at the bottom that if you want to drain the system out, all you have to do, you can disconnect that hose there, connect it down to that valve, run that valve to wherever you want to drain that water, open the valve, and it's going to drain. All right. I specifically like this air manifold, but what I am going to do is I'm going to come out with a riser out here with an elbow and a riser and go above the actual tank. I'm not flipping you guys off, I apologize for that. Above the actual tank, which is going to give me 100% reliability that my pump will not get damaged, because obviously if it's here and I do turn my back, the way it is right now, if I do turn my back and that water line gets too high, it's going to join these 2 pipes together and flow down. All right, but if I come out with an elbow and a riser above the actual tank, then there's no way, because that water will spill out of the top of this tank before it actually would ever go through there. It's just basic science, I guess you could say. But like I said, you still want to have that pump sitting on a cinder block or something, because even if your pump's on the ground and it starts flowing out of here, out the top of this thing, you still don't want the water coming down, just getting your pump wet. So put it up on something, I would say maybe at least 6 inches high. All right. So, because you never know, something might happen. A child might fall down the stairs in the house or something. You got to run in there. As you can see, these connections, the wind's kicking up, just kind of took my lid, but these connections are good to go. They're not bulkhead fittings. They work similar to bulkhead fittings, but the only difference between bulkhead fittings and these, bulkhead fittings are reverse threaded. So whenever you tighten something into a bulkhead fitting, it would never loosen. It would just make the bulkhead fitting tighter. These ones are identical to bulkheads, except they're not reverse threaded. So if you tighten something in the middle of them, i.e. this connector that I got here tightened into the inside of this, it can loosen this fitting. All right, it can loosen this fitting because that's the only difference between this and a bulkhead is this is not reverse threaded like a bulkhead is. All right, so with that being said, there is the Vortex, there is the Poseidon 4 32 gallon. If you're interested in this, I make these things. I am going to be selling these things, but the only difference, the ones I'm going to be selling, it's not going to be a container like this. It's going to be a minimum of a 55. All right, 55 gallon for $550. All right, and when it gets shipped to you, everything will be pre-assembled. All you're gonna have to do is tighten some screws, tighten some freaking little connectors like this, and you'll be up and running. It'll come with everything, including a water hose to connect it to connect to it. The only thing it will not come with are these cinder blocks. It will actually come with a frame, a stand for it to sit on, with casters, 200-pound casters. So you'll have about 800 pounds of stability that the casters are going to give you. And this thing is nowhere close to 800 pounds, so you should be good to go. All right. So like I said, if you like it, subscribe, leave me a message, tell me what you think. If you think something's wrong, you let me know, and we'll talk about it. I'll tell you if I did it like that for a reason, or I'll tell you you're right, you know, you had a better way of doing this, and then we'll fix it. All right. But as of right now, this is it. Poseidon 4. Subscribe, like it. Don't like it if you don't want to. If you don't like it, leave me a message and let me know what you think. This is Mike, out.